You're listening to the smartest guys in marketing, the best show on the planet for client businesses to learn about traffic, funnels, sales, conversions, and marketing coolness. Chris and Taylor are the founders of Traffic and Funnels, a digital marketing consultancy helping you get paid clients from cold traffic daily. Now, here are your hosts, Chris and Taylor.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the smartest guys in marketing, here with your most gorgeous hosts, Chris Evans and Taylor Welch.
Dude, when are we going to get some guest experts on and interview them?
I don't know, man.
I feel like it's time. We need to get some people lined up.
We will soon. We're working on it.
All right, we'll
got that in the works.
What are we talking about today?
Today we're talking about how to create an information diet and how that is extremely important if you want to not only make a lot of money, but have freedom in your life.
In your life and business.
Your life and business. And so essentially it's production versus consumption. This is a major, major topic. It's a heavy one.
Oof. I feel the weight crashing down on me.
You feel that on your shoulders? Here's the deal. I think we see something very common where guys who are making a lot of money in their business and they're happy and they have freedom, they are the guys and gals who are producers. The people who typically, this isn't like every single person, but kind of across the board, we see that don't make that much money. They consume a lot. They're consumers. And so if you want to get to a place where you're making a lot of money and you're enjoying your life and business, you've got to shift. Yeah. So you want to break this down for us a little bit?
Yeah. And I think I'll break it down and kind of talk about a little bit of how we shift. And then we'll talk about how we deal with the information overload of today's culture and today's economy. Because we're bombarded with it just like everyone else, right? I mean, we have stacks of books that we don't need and podcasts that we want to listen to, but we never get to. We're just like everyone else. We love information. We love learning and feeling like we're growing. But at the end of the day, like high performers should spend, 80% of their time producing. And most people that we see are consuming 80% and they're only producing 20%. And what happens is you got all these voices, and marketing is about really identifying your voice and putting it out there and letting people kind of get to know you and love you and trust you. But we got all these new marketers and all these new businesses coming on the scenes, and they sound just like everybody else. They're confused over their voice because they don't spend any time cultivating their own style, cultivating their own voice. They just spend time copying Russell Brunson. And so everybody sounds like everybody else, and there's no differentiation in the marketplace. And what that means is that guys who have a real personality, guys who have a real authentic voice, they rise to the top, and there's just this mass throng of competition beating each other at the bottom. And that's what you want to get out of. You want to avoid that, right? And so for us, production is more important than anything else. It's okay if there are podcasts we haven't listened to at the end of the week. It's okay if there are books that we haven't read as much as we wanted to, but it's not okay to have content that is sitting up on our queue that we were supposed to have done that we didn't get done. It is more important than everything else. And that in itself, just that prioritization factor will help throttle down and balance out that consumption versus production.
Yeah, the thing is, it totally makes sense. Consumption is natural and it's very easy and it's very enjoyable, right? It like creates endorphins in our body to where whenever we consume something, it feels really, really good. Production is very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And so most people take the easy route and they end up consuming versus producing. So breaking it down again, like most people, and I'd say probably closer to 90% of people, they just consume and 10% produce conservatively. So you have to flip that. If you want freedom in your life, you want freedom in your business, you want to actually enjoy your business, you want to make more money, then you have to get this principle down.
Yeah. And there are ways to make production easier based on your personality. I know like Chris tends to turn on in the afternoon and evening, and I'm like, my prime time to get production stuff done is like 5:30 in the morning to about 10 o'clock in the morning. And I can get more done between like 5:30 and 9 than I would be able to get done in a month from 2 in the afternoon to 6 or 7 in the afternoon. So that's my prime spot. Whereas, with you, you're constantly like coming up with new stuff at like 10 o'clock at night and I'm asleep. That's just kind of how your brain works. So I think understanding when you do turn on and being able to like prioritize your day around that is really, really key, because sometimes we think that we're having a struggle producing, and really it's just that we're trying to produce at Starbucks at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. We're tired and everybody's walking up and saying hi to us, and our environment's not conducive to getting it done.
Especially since we're so popular.
Well, dude, people are always having me like sign their clothes and stuff. I'm like, just a moment of peace, please. They're like, oh, it's the smartest guy in marketing. Chasing me down. But you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
We've got to stack our schedules around what is conducive for our own output. And not a lot of people are doing that.
Yeah, and I think that goes like, there's probably a little rabbit trail there for that lends to inspiration and creativity. Like if you feel inspired and you feel creative, again, right? It's like the food for production, the food for producing. You know, you got to, whenever that time is, like you got to at least document the stuff that you're inspired about. Write it down, because that might be some of the reasons why people feel like they can't produce.
Yeah.
Because they don't have that thing that's, like, you know, really feeding that production, the creativity and inspiration. So just a quick tip.
Let's stay there. What are some of the favorite things that you have that inspire you? Books, podcasts, or otherwise that inspire you to be creative and output?
Yes. Books, podcasts, videos.
Like what books?
I love strategy. I love tactics. One of the books that really, really, really inspires me is Breakthrough Advertising by Eugene Schwartz.
Yep.
Because, you know, he talks about understanding your market. It's a massive, it is the foundation of being successful in marketing and business. And so just having that idea, and the refreshing of having that idea that I can produce something and it actually results in getting me to where I want to go in my life, my business, inspires me to create and to produce. Yeah. But then also looking at other people like John Rockefeller, Elon Musk, these guys were like massive action takers.
Yeah. And in Elon's case, he still is. Still alive. He's still alive, bro.
Oh my God. I didn't know that.
He's still alive. Let's talk real fast. So we have something, we actually do create information diets for ourselves. And we have a couple guys that we like to follow. And we're like, I promise you guys, like, we're information whores just like the rest of us. We love it. It's our stuff. Like, we like saving articles. But what I'll do is I'll create, and we can actually share a picture of this if we think it'd be helpful, put it in the show notes.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I have
if we were smart marketers, we'd probably make it a download.
Yeah. Which we're not. We're not smart. Maybe we will be by the time this hits the streets. But I'll kind of list out some areas that I feel like I want to grow. And for a long time, I can just think back to 6 months ago. Like, my biggest thing that I wanted to grow in was like team building. Because we were in that phase of trying to get out of the day-to-day grind, trying to get other people we can build leverage in our team. And that was one of those things I was wanting to grow. And I've read, 6 or 7 books since that point on finding the right person, training the right person, how to hire correctly, all of those things. And then sometimes it'll go back and forth, like marketing strategy, cash flow engineering, wealth management. There are all these different topics inside of your business that you can get better at. And I have these different categories. I've got audio, books, video, and then training. And so like any podcast or audio program that I've got will go in the audio. Any books that I'm working on will go in the books. The video will be obviously like a video I want to study. And then training, which is like anything I'm subscribed to that is not in the other categories. So maybe it's like a newsletter or something like that. And I'll actually plan out what I want to consume and create a list out of it. And I'm kind of OCD about this, but this means that like what I listen to in the car on my way to the office, what I'm listening to in the morning, what I'm reading on Saturday mornings, I carve out time to study. All of it's planned in advance, so I don't fall prey to this information overload. Yep. Where it's like I'm just like reading stuff on Facebook and random crap on CNN about terrorists and ISIS and stuff that it doesn't really matter. There's nothing I can do about it. And so many people are experts about things that have literally nothing to do with their business or their life. They're experts on like terrorism overseas, or they're experts on, whatever Trump's doing. It's like there's nothing you can do, and you could be expert on your business and move your entire life forward, or you could be an expert on Donald Trump. It's like, are you crazy? You're literally out of your mind.
Yeah. It doesn't attribute to your economics, all the other stuff.
Yeah.
I was like, people ask me like, hey, did you hear about this in the news? Like, no, I don't watch the news. I watch Jay Abraham.
Dude, Uncle Jay.
Uncle Jay. We love Uncle Jay. So this also helps like when there's so much information coming at you and you are like feverishly scrolling through Twitter, then if you find something that really like hits your fancy, then you grab it and you throw it on your list. You know, and it creates space. It creates room mentally so that you can keep the priorities and focus on what's going to move you forward in your business. And your learning is very themed, right? You're only consuming based on where you're at in your business or your life. Like, you know, one thing that is very important to me is developing a very strong, healthy family and marriage. So my wife and I together are reading a really, really great book on marriage. So that's kind of a theme for us right now. You know, we're looking to grow and expand in that area. You know, I just want to be a better husband and be the man of her dreams.
Is that the book that I wrote?
No, really.
How to Be Awesome at All Things Marriage by Taylor Welch. You guys can pick it up.
No, you didn't pick it up? Pick it up. You didn't tell me about that.
Yeah, it's a bestseller. It's a big deal.
Can't wait to read it. So develop a plan.
Yeah, absolutely. Super important.
Yeah.
Cool. And make sure we're in that plan. Cut out everything else except for Smartest Guys in Marketing and Traffic and Funnels.
And make sure you read all of our emails and all of our.
Here's the deal. Facebook. Here's the deal. You're not learning anything for anyone else. Let's just be honest.
Yeah, it's true.
It's coming from us.
Everybody else sucks.
We better stay at the top of that information diet because we taught you this. Okay.
We taught you everything you know.
Basically.
So develop a plan. Start producing instead of consuming so much. And I know that we have like people just like, they're probably shouting, just like screaming because their bondages have been broken.
So my grandfather said he built this massive company selling ice down in Alabama. He would have this massive warehouse where they would freeze and sell ice cubes. You know what I'm talking about, right? You look so confused right now.
I had never heard this story.
What in the world? Yeah, you've never heard it. I've never told it. And he
cool, bro. I thought I knew everything about you. Whatever.
He was like, did I ever tell you the secret to building success business? I said, no. He said, come here, plan your work and work your plan. They sat back with this massive smile on your face. But seriously, bro, that is the secret. It's literally the secret. You can sit down, you can plan out where you want to go, and then you actually implement that plan. That is the secret. It's so simple, so profound. And if you want to build an ice business like he did, that's all you got to do.
I feel like we should start an ice business.
Let's talk about it.
Hey, just on that, like that's really important because I think a lot of people don't produce because they just lack clarity, and it's because they consume so much. So go mute everything in your life, except for us, of course. Get that list so that you know exactly what action you need to take. And if you still feel stuck, then you should just become our client.
Yeah, hop on a call with us. All right, anything else?
No, man. That's it.
All right, guys, we have a free gift for you, trafficandfunnels.com/gift. Be sure to check that out, and we'll see you next time. Peace.
This is thepodcastfactory.com.